back to Biz HQ in 2020. It's been a busy few weeks here. We've got Christmas and New Year's, you had that in the way. And also we had Autosport where we met up with quite a few of you. So it's great to meet up with Grant from Magnussen there. Also good to meet Alan from Earls and stuff like that, as well as all the club racing sport, VRD, the list goes on and on and on. Autosport is the place to be at the beginning of the year to catch up with everyone and meet with the potential sponsors. So yeah, also BDC at that time released the dates as well, so we now know that the end of March is Three Sisters for round 1. So we have our deadline for getting the car ready, and as I'm about to take you through, you'll see that we've got a fair bit of work to do in these next couple of months, but I have a feeling that the team and I will get there pretty sharpish. So I've been busy cutting away more. As you can see, the pile from the 350Z, all this steel work is now is ever growing, and I think that by the end of the time that we'll finish the work, that'll be even bigger. But this is the piece I'm most kind of happy with. Thank you to Vlad first off for lending me his JD squared bender, because I've never really ever kind of done anything like this before. So in the time that we've spent last, got the other piece of roll cage tubing put in between the chassis legs here, which is all boxed off. Then we've made a couple of sleeves to put in Jason's piece of steel work that he gave us. And then this is where I had to have a go at bending the aluminium and getting all the measurements right and stuff myself. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. Both sides are symmetrical, so we can chop and change those as we need to, and obviously there's going to be some damage and stuff, so I've made a few extra pairs of those, which is pretty good. And then also, yeah, the top part here, which is going to support the lights, the top part of the bumper, and eventually the boot lid as well, which is going to go up in here. So as you can see, there's a bit of a weld here where I made a bit of a schoolboy error. Got the bends right at both ends, but forgot to measure the length in the middle, so yeah, thank God for the Artec TIG set in that respect. So yeah, next piece is I'll do a quick time lapse and show you actually how quickly this can all be put back together again. I love the fact that if we want to, can remove this and actually get right up to where the cooler pack is about to go. I have a feeling that I'm going to be cutting out this piece of floor to try and replicate maybe the Asbo rear cooler pack setup where he has it flat in the bottom there. I'll let Steve do a quick screenshot of what he's been up to. But also, yeah, that then means that the cooler pack for the radiator, supercharger cooler and fuel cooler will be right above the subframe, keeping centre of gravity low but also weight right above the axle, which is where we want it. So yeah, time to crack out the grinder again, I think, and get stuck in. So that's it with the rear bumper and the lights fitted. Thank you to Steve for the donation of the nice red bumper for this year's season. Obviously we'll be cutting off the bottom of that like we always do, just to give us a little bit more ground clearance. But yeah, pretty chuffed with how it's all sort of come together. Managed to get all the bends kind of where I wanted them and stuff like that. Also it's close where it needs to be and have enough flex otherwise, you know, a little bit of space in there for the to tap the odd wall and so on before it actually makes contact with the aluminium. So yeah, definitely pleased with that. Also have quite an appreciation now for all the hard work that Jason Clark and Steve Richardson's put into their builds. Definitely been using them as inspiration for this one. So yeah, time to get on to the next pieces. Hey guys, there's a fair bit of a jump since when I last spoke to you in the vlog. Apologies about that. It tends to take a lot of time to do stuff here in the workshop, but yeah, making good headway now. Also had Jeanette and Ben up from Artec HQ in Cheltenham to come and have a look around the car actually in person, which was really cool, and to do a little interview. So hopefully you've already seen that one come out. But yeah, now I'll take you through what I've done. You can see the main part here. The part of the floor there, like I said at the beginning of the vlog there, is now missing. Also made a tray for the battery on that side, fuel system on that side. Also that will be a good base for the 2 water pumps, one for the cooling system on the engine, one for the supercharger. So yeah, you may have also seen now we have this funky bit of kit. So this was actually the fiberglass boot I had on there before. For this season we decided, because we're going rear mounted radiator and stuff like that, to actually make it easier to duct in for the cooling. We're trying to actually make a deck lid. So yeah, down here is the actual deck lid itself, with a little aluminium piece in there that the guys over at Fab Shop helped me make, and also using Vlad's JD squared bender again, which was one hell of a piece of equipment, and I'm still learning how to use that. But yeah, the car is slowly coming together. I'm very, very conscious that we only have 2 months now for round 1. There's painting to be done. Dell's already starting to strip the livery off because we're getting ready to do a new set of that. There's a lot of cleaning needs to be done. So yeah, this afternoon I'm going to be making sure that this part of the deck lid can be mounted permanently, but also easy to get off if we need to. And then yeah, working on this part of the deck lid then, which I'm still working out whether I'm going to put on hinges, similar to like an R33, or whether I'm just going to use the simple bonnet pin idea to go forward on there. So yeah, keep tuned in and yeah, see how this thing unfolds. I'm pretty interested as well. So tonight on Biz's solutions to problems that shouldn't happen in the first place, I needed to make this funky little like half moon shape in here, so then I have my little boss so I can weld that in there. So then the supercharger cooler can fit across the radiator. So yeah, I ended up using a piece of old scrap aluminium, tiny little pilot hole in there. There's a bit of wood stuck in there under the vise. I don't know if you can see that, the light is a bit poor at the moment. But yeah, that at least allowed me then to actually get the old conical drill bit in there and actually drill out a perfect half moon, which saved plenty of filing time and has done a better job than I could have thought. Okay, so we're starting to make a few big bits of progress now. The deck lid is actually on. Needs to be a bit more refinement on there as always, because the fitment and stuff isn't quite there yet. I think that's probably because the bumper isn't on and the lights aren't in. And you can see that the actual boot itself has got a funky kind of camouflage effect to it now in certain places on here. The gel coat on this boot lid was absolutely terrible, which is also one of the reasons why I didn't mind cutting it up. So, but yeah, pretty happy with how that's come on. What we'll do is we'll quickly whip off the deck lid itself now, and get rid of that. Chuck that down there. So now you can start to see a little bit more about what we've got going on inside. So Adele spent most of Saturday hiding from Storm Kira in here with me, thank God, cleaning up all of this stuff. Also we've got the Wisefab rear arms and the calipers and stuff like that. So we're starting to really make a show on this now, and actually, you know, obviously with it being more on show actually for when you guys come and have a look around, hopefully it'll look a little bit more like it should do, a little bit sweeter. Also, Dell did a great job on clearing up the transmission. I think that looks absolutely fantastic now, so it's probably almost as good as it looked when it came back from Cleveland pick apart when I first bought the car and the engine in the first place. So you see now the swell pot, that's kind of where it's going to be mounted. I've just ordered a few bits and pieces there from Earl's Performance on that one to get the 90-degree bends and stuff where I need it to be on there. Also working out with Samco Sport how to replace some of these OEM pipes and stuff like that, because again, now they're on show, they don't really look that smart, so definitely something we need to work on there. But also, we've now got part of the exhaust system in place, which I'm pretty happy to say. Steve did question why I bother putting the mufflers in, but as you know, we've always got to try and make this meet certain regulations at certain tracks. But for the ones where we're allowed to have a bit more fun, I've put a couple of E-bands under there again so we can get the mufflers off and just go for the straight tailpipes, which I think you can say that we all love that one. So yeah, a bit more welding to do there, waiting for a few more parts to come in from eBay and so forth. But yeah, looking good, and next piece will be to finish mounting up the radiator and stuff on the top here. I did actually try and hope to do that over the weekend, but the actual aluminium I got, for some reason, looks like I've got a different batch, so every time I put it into the tube bender and get up to 10 degrees, it would just simply snap. So that's why I thought, right, I'll get to work on the exhaust system instead of wasting any more time trying to work out a solution for this. So hopefully the Fab Shop boys will be bringing in a new batch of that soon, so I can get going again with that. And then yeah, we can actually start bending these pieces of material again like this. This is same grade, same aluminium, but from a different manufacturer, I believe. So yeah, the actual bending part of it went through quite easy peasy. So that's the next step. That's you up to date, and we'll see what happens next.